guys, it's Tammy with Embellish the Story. Thanks for joining my channel. And today I wanted to do a really fun tag with you. I've never made a tag like this until today. And I have made one before I got on camera. And I'll show it to you. And then we'll make one together. And today I'm going to be crafting with Oohlala Vintage Treasures Vintage Harvest Waltz kit. And I shared with you the Harvest Waltz kit, and this one is the vintage that I told you would be coming out. And here's some beautiful papers from it. And where the other one was done with a lot of pinks, which I'll show you what I made with that. This one is more the beiges and the creams and the tea-dyed colors. And it's just gorgeous. And so I printed just a little bit of it out today, just enough to create with. It's just as beautiful and has all the elements as the Harvest Waltz kit. This is just the vintage version. They're both gorgeous, and I've enjoyed using the regular Harvest Waltz kit so much. So here is what I made from Harvest Waltz, and this is the type tag I thought we would make today. And this tag was inspired from Scrapbooking With Me, and she calls it, it was called a flip your lid tag, is what she called it. And then she also called it a surprise slide out tag because it has this little piece in it. And she said she was inspired by Michelle from Ephemera. So here's the tag I made. I really enjoy watching Scrapbooking With Me. She's very talented, and I learn a lot from her. So this little tag is made from an envelope, and it has a little pocket here. And I just put in 3 tags. And this is the regular Harvest Waltz kit. And you see how it's definitely a lot of beautiful pinks. And then, so that, and I stuck a little ticket from the kit in there. And then there's a part of it that slides out. And then you've got that little piece inside the top of the envelope. And so when it's together, it really looks pretty fluid. I did put the word pumpkin patch right there at the bottom, but if I hadn't, it would look like one piece of paper. So I guess that was why they called it a surprise slide out. So I wanted to make one using the vintage papers, and I thought we would just do that together. And I just used a junk envelope, and this is one I need to probably get a credit card. And we're just going to use this and cover it. And this is a good way to use these envelopes because I seem to get a lot of them. And the hardest part was deciding what I was going to use because there's so many papers. But I think I'm going to cover the envelope in this on both sides. So I just thought I would start with that. And it's pretty straightforward, and I'll try to give you measurements. Y'all know I don't measure. I pretty much eyeball everything, so I'll try to measure it as good as I can. My glue is, I just filled my glue bottle up. And yeah, it's not wanting to come out. Okay, let's see if we can get the glue to come out. Come on, glue. You're not supposed to use these little things to unstick your glue. I have ruined several that way. All right. So I'm just going to cover the envelope with the paper. And the whole thing's so pretty, it doesn't really matter to me what I cover, what part of the paper I get. Sometimes I'll pick out based on, you know, I'll pick out the part of the paper. And then sometimes when it's this pretty, I just let it fall where it falls. Okay. Get something to wipe my hands. I really just wrap this paper right here. And that's what I think I'm gonna do. So I'm just gonna, I could cut it, but I think I'm just gonna wrap it in the envelope. I don't know, I may not, I do not, y'all, can you believe I don't even have a score? Like, I don't have one of those scoreboards. I don't have much high-tech stuff or even low-tech stuff. Oh, goodness. And the envelope is closed. It was closed when I took it out of the junk mail. So. I don't know about y'all, but I seem to get plenty of junk mail envelopes. Alrighty. So I'm just going, oh, now I can't hardly see where my envelope is. I don't know about that wrapping now. What I'm going to do, I'm going to open it up and cut it right there. I should have cut that before I wrapped it. Okay. So I'm going to have to put some glue down again. Sorry. I didn't wrap my other one. I just covered both sides. Live and learn, right? Okay. And I don't have, well, I do have a bone folder. I think it got packed up with a lot of my craft supplies. Because a lot of my craft supplies are in storage. Alrighty. So I've just covered the envelope. I'm going to leave it closed. And that's my envelope on both sides. It's very pretty. That paper makes such a pretty envelope. And I think I'm going to let that be the, I don't know, let's see. Oh, that's pretty. Oh, that's pretty. I think I'm going to let this side, I think I'll let that be the, I know I'm going to put a ruffle. I think I'm going to let this side be the front and the other side be the back. So you can see the ruffle there. And this kind of looks like layered pages coming out. So really it would be really pretty on either side. So I'm just going to fold it up about 2 inches, maybe a little less. And just fold it really good. And that will make our pocket. Right here, my paper's a little uneven. That's my fabric scissors. I try to be good and not use my fabric scissors to cut paper. Sometimes I get in a hurry and don't pay attention. So that's going to make our little pocket. And I'm just going to ink that real quick. I will leave the links to the papers for Oohlala Vintage Treasures Etsy store in the description box. And I'll also leave the link for the video that I saw at Scrapbooking With Me. So you guys can go and see her do this and then check her out if you haven't ever watched her. She's very, very talented. She's very sweet. She's she's a very good teacher. Like, she really walks you through what she does. So I'm just going to glue the two sides down to make my little pocket. All right. Now, in a minute, I will cut part of this off to make the little slide. But right now, I'm going to leave it. I'm just going to work on the bottom. So, I wanted a ruffle to peek up right here to kind of ruffle up there. So, I think that's a pretty ruffle. But I want it solid all the way through. So I think I'm going to cut out this piece of this ruffle. And let that be what frames the top of that pocket. And I do the best I can with cutting out the ruffle, y'all. I'm not the best fussy cutter. So I'm just going to cut out this ruffle here. All right, so I cut out the one side of the ruffle. I tried to scallop it as much the way it was printed. And then the other side, I just left solid. And I'm going to place it on the top of the pocket. It would just be gorgeous like that. There's no reason I couldn't leave it like that, because that is just gorgeous. But I wanted the ruffle to kind of show there. So I'm just going to place the ruffle maybe right there, like that on that side. Yeah, okay. So I'm just going to place the ruffle on the top. And I am going to have to trim that a little bit. Okay, so now I've got my pocket with a pretty ruffle. Isn't that pretty? These papers are so pretty. And when you see, if you go see the tutorial I pulled this from, she uses vastly different style papers, and hers is really cute. So you don't have to be a shabby person to make this. This is just a cute tag that has a little slip in it. All right, so I wanted to put the 3 of the pumpkins from the digital set in there, and I have this trim, and I got this off of a blouse that I thrifted, and I thought this would be cute, just like the pumpkins were coming out of this little ruffle. So I'm just going to cut this in half right here. Cut this part down. I loved this trim when I saw it. It was at the top of a blouse, and there was absolutely nothing wrong with that blouse. I will be honest with you. I thrifted it. I bought the blouse for the trim, and it was my size. And then I had a hard time cutting it because I was like, it's really cute. I really would like to wear that, but ultimately, I wanted to craft with the trim worse than I wanted to wear it. Do y'all ever do that? Oh, anyway, I loved it because it had these little buttons sewn on it and these little mother of pearl pieces. So I love that trim. Okay, so I'm just going to put that down and cut it where I can, oops, that's not my fabric scissors, where I can see that. I don't want to cut that mother of pearl piece. I'm just going to put that down. Then I'm going to let the little pumpkins peek out of it. All right. So that's sweet. And then I cut the pumpkins the best I could. She's got some gorgeous, this had some beautiful tendrils coming off. And this had more little parts of the stem coming off. And y'all, I just couldn't fussy cut it. I'm not a really good fussy cutter. So I wanted to put these pumpkins. Look at that little Cinderella pumpkin. Isn't that sweet? Right, so I wanted to put the pumpkins on the pocket like it's a little pumpkin patch. So I thought, and I've already inked them, so I'm just going to pop them down like that, making sure I don't glue too high so I don't exceed the top of my pocket. I'm going to kind of angle them a little bit. And I'm going to do more with those. I'm just going to let that stem kind of stick up like that. So I'll do more with them in a little while. So I'm just going to put those down. So now I've got my pocket, and I'm going to, excuse me, I'm sorry, I hit my head, and I don't have this light on, so I'm going to turn that on. Does that help? Okay, maybe that helps. Didn't realize I didn't have my video light on. So now I'm going to make the slide in part, and I'm going to cut about 2 inches. Not, well, no, really about 1.5 inches off of this envelope. So my cutter's here. So at about 1.5 inches, maybe. Yeah, I think I'm going to do one. I did 1.5 the last time. I think maybe she said she did 1 3/4. Maybe I'll go somewhere in between there. I'm just going to trim the envelope. All right. So now I have this little piece of the envelope like that, and it'll just slide down right on top there. So we're going to make a little card to slip in there. And let me find my paper. I have dropped my paper. All right, so here is a paper from the kit. It's one of the pretty papers. It's got like a sweater. On one side, it's so neat. And the other side, it has like the cotton and the cinnamon sticks and the pine cones. So I thought I would use that. And I'm just going to fold it in half to make it 2-sided. And I don't need it that wide. I need it a little bit more narrow. So I will trim that down a little bit. So I'm just going to glue this together. So instead of running it 2-sided, I just decided to glue 2 sides together. Sometimes instead of backing it or running it 2-sided, I'll just do that. Especially if I know I want to see both sides of the paper anyway. So there's that. And I don't want it that wide. I really want it about 1/4 of an inch or so inside this envelope piece. So I'm going to trim to about right there. It doesn't have to be precise. And if I err on the side of something, I'll always err on the side of trimming too little, because I can always trim more, but I can't ever add. Well, I could, but that's going to be a lot harder. All right, so this just gets glued inside there. This one's a little more narrow than my last one, but that's fine. Probably should have left it a little wider. This is, but it's fine. All right. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on this, on both sides, and then I'm going to tuck it in. And then once it's in there good. Oh, let me ink these edges really quick. Oh yeah, I've got glue on that. All right. So I'm just going to slip that right inside that envelope piece. Just get it in the center as much as I can. That looks pretty straight. All right. And then both sides of this are fine. It's so pretty. Doesn't matter which side. So you can journal on both sides of this. And I'm just going to ink that. I think I already inked it on the other side. I did. All right. So now, this just slips right inside, and it looks like one fluid card. It looks like one fluid tag. Right. So that's how that works. And so I guess that's why it's called a surprise slip. All right, so on the other one, I put a word, and I put pumpkin patch, and I think I want to do that again. So, because I've got the little pumpkin patch at the bottom. So I just cut out pumpkin patch, and now I'm just going to tear it down. And then ink it, and I'm just going to put it right here. I hope y'all are having a good day. You know what? I told myself, do a little, picking up and unloading the dishwasher, that kind of thing, and then craft. And guess what I did? I'm crafting, and then I'm going to, while this is loading, I'm going to run around and do the things I told myself I needed to do before I crafted. Okay, so I've got a piece of a wedding dress that's drying over here, and it's one I thrifted a couple of weeks ago. I found it, and I had glued the back so the beads wouldn't fall. So I put it on the top of the other one, so I think I'll do that to this one too. The only thing is I put the word to the right on that one. I think I'm going to put this one more in the center, just for something different. Okay. Then I'm just going to take, I think the part of this that looks kind of like leaves and flowers, and use that part at the top. found this the other day, and it had so many of these pieces all over the bottom, the whole skirt of the dress. So I got it. I thought, boy, I can use that forever, and I will use it for. It'll take me a long time to use all that. I am going to share it with some people who I can get it to. All right. I'm going to cut that little flower off. I'll definitely use that somewhere else. And just put that trim up there. I did glue the other one really well because this is the part you're going to be pulling. So I'll go back and I'll glue it better than I'm gluing now. This kind of reminded me of a pumpkin patch, this little part of this dress. Or, you know, the leaves on a pumpkin patch. All right. Wonder how this would look just right here. Oh, that's kind of sweet there. Let's put that there. Which way do we want it? I think I want it that way. Let it go down just a little. Okay. I need to look up. I'm going to pull that out so I don't glue that together. All right. So there's my little pumpkin patch. So that's the top. And it just will slide right down in there. So now we have our little surprise slide out. And that's really cute. It looks like it's just one tag. And then, because the envelope slides back together, but then you got the little secret spot there. And now I just want to decorate the bottom and make some little quick tags to slip in there. So all I did on the other one was just put little bows on the pumpkins. So I had some pieces. I have this one little bow just from some silk, chiffon silk. So I'm going to pop that on one little pumpkin. My glue is not wanting to come out today. So I'm just going to pop a bow there. Then maybe I have a piece of tulle. So we can make a little bow out of that. Just going to tie it into a little bow. You can pop this on one of them. Put that on that one. How's that? Spread it out a little bit. Then I probably could use something besides a bow, but I'm just going to pop another little bow there. Let's see, where's that wedding dress? Did it fall? Here's some of that wedding dress. And I think I'll just cut this. I'm not sure. This is kind of like tulle, but it's not. And I'll just cut a piece of that and make a little bow out of it. And that'll be easy. If I can ever find a wedding dress that has appliques that I can get off without ruining them, I generally will go in Goodwill about once a week, and another thrift store that I really like, and see what they have, because you can get so many different types of fabrics and trims and things in addition to just the appliques that I like. So I'm just going to put that there. So I've got my 3 little bows. All right. That needs some coaxing. So now we're just going to make some really simple ephemera to pop inside. And these are the little journaling cards that are in the kit. And there's 2 here, so I'm just going to fold those in half and make that into one tag. So I have my hot cocoa cup on one side and then this beautiful script page on the other. So I'm going to glue that into one tag. I glued this one. I hear the mailman going by. And on this one will be upside down. So I think I'm just going to trim it. And then glue it together so one side won't be upside down. I'll need to go back and trim these up. All right. So I'm just going to cut my top. Like so. And then trim these. So also, let's see, that's got some French script there. So I want that to be right side up. So I'm going to trim that there. And then just trim this one. And then I'm just going to put some little holes in the center. All right, so I put my little holes in my tags, and then I'm going to do a really easy top. Oh, I forgot one of them. I was going to put this. Let's see. I was going to put a piece of this at the top. Let's see. Do I want to do which one? That's cute on the cocoa tag. That's cute on that one. I think I'm going to put it on the cocoa tag. I should have only cut holes in 2, but that's okay. So that's going to be the topper for one. That's cute. Then I'm just going to loop. Here's a piece of polka dot fabric piece. I think I'll just make a little topper out of it. This is an Oohlala piece of fabric. I think I'll put it on this one. Oh, I need to ink these tags. I forgot. I'll ink them all. I'm not gonna have you guys watch me ink them. That gets a little mundane. So I'll go back and I'll ink them all. But I'm just gonna make a little topper on this one. And then this one, I've got a piece of lace here, and this is also an Oohlala piece. And I think I'll just tie it into a little bow. So I'm just gonna loop the piece through and get a piece that I can use to tie. So I'm gonna leave that. Then I'm gonna loop, loop, hold, and then I twist. And just tie it. Just set it on there and tie it. And don't let go too soon. Now I've got a sweet little lace bow. All right. Trim that up a little bit. All right. So I've got 3 little different tops. Just got a tab and then a little piece of trim and then lace. And then if I take this, I can just pop these in. Like so. Then there's these little tickets in there. This one's for Le Soiree. I think that's what it is. I'll pop that in there. And now I have this cute little surprise slide out tag with 3 little tags and a ticket, like a folded ticket. These are printed on the paper like that, so I just cut them at the same time and then just fold them into like a little folding card. So how cute is that? And so if I take this out, you can see it just slides in and out. So these are the sweetest little tags. Super. They do take a little bit of time, but they're worth it, I think. These papers are gorgeous. You see why I wanted to put that ruffle there. It's just so pretty there. I've got, so it looks really feminine and pretty. I've got this one from Harvest Waltz Vintage, and then this one from the first Harvest Waltz patch, patch. I'm thinking of pumpkin patch. So this one from the first Harvest Waltz kit. And those are the really sweetest little embellishments. I just love doing those. So thank you. I think, I couldn't tell if she said her name was E or Eve, but she's super awesome. So thank you at Scrapbooking With Me for this idea. She is doing lots of neat tags because she's making a tag journal. So if you're looking for some inspiration, check her out. She's doing some neat things. I'm enjoying watching what she's doing. So I hope that y'all enjoyed making this tag, and both of these kits are available on Etsy at Oohlala Vintage Treasures, and I'll leave that link in the description box along with tutorial from Scrapbooking With Me. And I hope you guys have a beautiful September day. And always remember to embellish the story. And I will see you soon. Bye-bye.